everybody, I'm back for another episode from the Board Game Man. My name is Jamie Cloninger. Today we're going to go back to 1962. This game is made by Parker Brothers. It's 2 to 4 players. It's in regards to an old TV show that was on back in the day, Mr. Ed. Let's head on over to the gamer's table and I'll show you how to play the game. But first, here's a word from our star of the game.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Okay, here we are, everybody. We are at the gamer's table. We're going to go ahead and open up Mr. Ed so I can show you what it looks like. And first and foremost, the instructions are inside the lid, which I always like to see. Yay! So, in case you ever get the game, it is inside the lid, not a paper instruction. So, that's always a good thing. We'll go ahead and show you the board. Opens up just like so. Pretty cool looking board. All sorts of horseshoes and all sorts of stuff going on there. And you also have the Mr. Ed cards. You have a bunch of these cards here that are in the game. Some tell you to move a certain amount of spaces, and that's what you do, and then you'll put it in the discard pile. Or there's some where you must keep, which in this case would be something like TV show numbers. It'll tell you what the numbers are, and I'll go over that in one moment. So you have the Mr. Ed cards. It comes with 4 dice, which is kind of funny because it's 1 for each player. So that you don't actually roll the same dice, which is interesting. Some games are like that. You also have 4 playing pieces, which I don't think these are the ones that came with the game, but you know what? Hey, it works. I actually have 4 different colors. I believe it's just the regular stand-up little tokens that come with the game, but when I got this game, this is what it came with, so that's okay. And you also have some TV show cards, which I'll show you these here. These are actually bigger than the Mr. Ed cards. Each player will start off with one of these, and it shows you what TV show you're going to be going for. So you have here TV show number 2, TV show number 4, and so on. All the different TV show numbers. So we're going to say each player, we're going to shuffle these up a little bit here, and we'll say that player 2 will have this card here, player 1 will have this card, and then you go ahead and put the rest of the cards into the box, like so. So let's go ahead and get this box out of the way. And we'll go ahead and go with blue and yellow as the 2 colors. Go ahead and put this away. Okay, so what you're going to do is the first player to get 3 episodes that match whatever card they have in their hand and makes it to the stable first wins the game. And I'll show you how that works. So first of all, the red and blue will start here. So go ahead and put blue here. And yellow will start here, and so on. Okay, I'll just put that there. And you'll see these 2 arrows. So you can decide which way you want to go. You can start going this way, or you can start going this way on the board. It does not matter. Now let me show you. For instance, player 1 has TV show number 2, Wilbur Sells Ed. So every time I land on a space that allows me to pick up a card, I'm going to try to get in episode number 2. Those are the 3 that I want. And like I said, the first player to get 3 of the cards that match the TV show number win the game. Okay, so each player gets a die. We'll put these 2 away into the box. And obviously, whoever rolls the highest number goes first. And let's go ahead and start off with player 1. Now, you're always going to keep this face down. No one's ever going to know what TV show number you're going for. So player 1's going to roll. You go as a 1, so we're going to go this way. Now, there's only a couple different spaces to discuss on here. The blue spaces are just safe spaces, so nothing happens on those. If you land on a Mr. Ed square, all you're doing is you're picking up a card, okay? And what you do is when you pick up the card, if it tells you to move a certain amount of spaces, you're going to go ahead and do what it says, and then put it in the discard pile. If you draw a card and it has an episode number on it, you're going to put it face down in front of you, so no one else knows what it is, all right? And what happens is the most cards you can have of these are 3. So once you reach 3 cards, once you get another card, you must discard one of the cards So you only have 3 is the highest number that you have in your hand. So I'll go ahead and go over that. We'll go ahead and shuffle that up a little bit there, just like that. Put this back in there like so. And then there's times when you want to roll in here. Now these are the special areas. What happens is when you roll up in here, you can come right inside here. And if you roll a 1, 3, or 5 on your die, you are allowed to draw 2 cards. And like I said, you're trying to get 3 of these cards that match your TV show episode. So that's 1 for blue. So we're going to go ahead and roll. I guess I don't need 2 different die. And player 2 will roll 5. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He rolls on a blue. That's just a safe space. 5 here. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is when you're allowed, if you have 3 of your episodes, you see the little arrow here. This allows you to come around and get to the stable. So this is when you receive 3 of the episodes that you need. This is how you have to go ahead and take the track with your horseshoes and make it here. Hopefully you don't land here because it makes you go back 4 spaces. You do have to land on the stable by exact roll. Okay, now these you do not. If you roll this way, you can go right in. And it doesn't say that you have to do an exact roll to move into this area to the stable. So you're fine. I think you just kind of roll right in. Same with this. If you want to roll and just go roll right in, you're fine. You do not have to have an exact count to go in here. And that's when you try your luck. If you make it in here, say you stop in any one of these 3 spaces, or actually I think it's this space here. Once you land on this space, like I said, you do not have to do an exact count. If you roll a 1, 3, or 5, you draw 2 cards. If you roll a 2, 4, or 6, you do not get 2, and then you have to go back out and you have to go around the board and try it again if you want to do that. If you want to go for 2, you don't necessarily have to go in there. But like I said, I mean, if you do get to draw 2 and you have 3 of your cards, you have the maximum amount of cards, and maybe 1 of those 2 of those cards, or maybe both of them are good for you, you can get rid of 2 of those cards that you don't need, and it's a little faster to try to get 3 of your the same episode number. So let's go ahead and he was here. So 5, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, everyone keeps rolling on the safe spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what happens is you must roll whatever number you roll. You have to roll. You have to move that exact count, unless you're going in here or you're going in here. Now let's say blue is here, yellow is here, and I roll a 1. I am not able to go 1 forward. Okay, so I must go 1 backwards. So that's the key there. Is if you cannot fulfill your roll going forward or backwards. Say he's here and you want to go backwards, but you roll a 2, you can't go backwards, so you have to go forwards 2. If someone's right here and right, so let's just say, let me get another player here. Say it's like this, and blue rolls a 1, he has to forfeit his turn because he can't go forward or backwards. Okay, so you can go forwards and backwards in this game, but you can't go front and back on the same roll. So say you roll 2 or 4, you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do that. It's one way for each roll that you do. Okay, put red back in here. So let's just say, here we go. We got 3, and blue's going to go 1, 2, 3. Now he lands on a Mr. Ed. So he's going to go ahead and look at the card. I have TV show 2. So TV show 6 is not going to do me any good, but I'm not going to go ahead and say anything. I'm just going to put this face down in front of me. Now, let's see. Let's go. Blue's going to roll 6, or yellow's going to roll 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He lands on a safe space, and so on. He rolls. Okay, he gets on another horse, Mr. Ed. TV show number 1. Obviously, this is not going to help me out as well, so I'm going to put this here. Now, there is a way you can trade cards with the player. Now, at the start of a player's turn, he may exchange any of his cards he chooses with any of the players in the game wishing to trade. For example, a player has 2 cards, neither of which has the number of the cards he is trying to get. He may exchange both of these cards blindly with 1 or 2 players willing to trade. During trading, at any time during this game, players never reveal the numbered card they are trying to obtain. So obviously, if I'm going, hey, does anybody want to trade 2 cards? You're going to blindly trade 2 cards with another player and switch them. So you're never going to know who that is. So you can do that on the beginning of your turn. So, but anyhow, that's pretty much the gist of the game. It's a pretty simple game, pretty easy to go. If you land on the Mr. Ed, you get 1 card. If you're lucky enough to go in here, And like I said, you don't have to go by an exact count. If you roll a 1, 3, and 5, like in that case I would have, I could draw 2 cards. Like for instance in this one, both of these are TV show number 6, which that doesn't go for me because I'm TV show 2, but I would have to discard one of these because I already have 2 cards here. I'd have to keep one and then get rid of another one. So this one, actually I would go face down in there and so on. That way you have the maximum of 3 cards at all time. And once you go through the deck, as soon as I receive 3 of these TV show number 2s, I will start making my way through the horseshoe track. And like I said, you do have to roll an exact count into the stable. And the first person to do so, with all 3 TV shows matching his episode number here, getting to the stable at the exact count, wins the game.